Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as they say, can everybody hear me?
Yes, Sam.
Yes. Yes.
Hi, everybody.
Perfect. So, this is Sam here. I hope everybody's good. I suspect we have lots and lots of new people listening in. We've got a few hundred here. I suspect we've got similar numbers. Oh, wow, we've got quite a lot on Crypto Dreams on YouTube. Always worth visiting Crypto Dreams on YouTube, because about half an hour before these AMAs, he'll do a really nice overview and answer some of your questions himself. He's very knowledgeable on the project. So if you're not following Crypto Dreams, go look him up on YouTube. Really useful content for anyone who's trying to learn about the project. So I suspect, I haven't even had time to check the latest numbers. Let me just roll it up and then we'll get straight into it. Because we've added, 62,583. I remember us very recently tweeting that we'd hit 50,000 investors. So that was within the last couple of days. So the growth's been amazing. So I suspect there's lots of people listening in today for the first time who'd like to learn a lot more about our project. So we always start these AMAs with an update from myself, which I tried to keep to about 10 minutes. We have an awful lot of news always. We can give sort of details of the actual contract, just to give some very, very basic overviews for those who might be listening for the first time. So first and foremost, the thing that we initially revolutionized upon launch, which was only 5 weeks ago, was the fact that you receive your reflections or whatever you need. It also, we've seen a lot of people reinvesting their rewards. So if there's a dip, every now and then, like a whale will sell a big chunk, there'll be a dip that lasts a couple of hours, and people who've been sat on their US dollar rewards can then buy more Evergrow coin with their rewards at a better price. So we see lots of people doing that. So it's an interesting approach to build your bag up using your rewards. Obviously, that's something you can't do if your rewards are a native token. What's far more important than just the rewards on their own is that we set up this project from the very beginning to have utility. We have been fairly open about the fact that we feel that there are lots of projects that were simply set up for hype, and they kind of make up the utility later on, if at all, or there might be some implied utility in the future. The reason you need utility in a project is to give it value, to give it fundamental value, so that when you look at the market cap, you understand why it's at that value. Otherwise, it'd be very difficult with cryptos, and they can be incredibly volatile. So we've had although we've had very, very fast growth, it's a fairly steady chart when you look at it from a distance. It doesn't look too all over the place, unlike lots of projects we've seen that have gone up, gone down, gone all over the place. It's because people are finding it hard to give them any value. So the highlights, we are 5 weeks in, which is amazing, because it feels like we're years old, and I think the team have aged several years in the last 5 weeks as well. We've given over $11 million of rewards. Again, I remember seeing on Twitter a few hours ago that we'd given $10 million of rewards. So the rewards are flying up now. Over 62,000 investors. And we've been hovering around the $1 billion market cap, which, although that does put us inside the top 100 of crypto projects, we are still, 35 times smaller than the likes of Dodge and Shiba, etc. And we're not even actually listed currently on any major exchanges. So we are the fastest growing project in history. And yet there is still so much potential, because we haven't launched our first utilities yet. And this miraculous growth has been purely achieved on MetaMask and Trust Wallet holders. So I'm sure you can imagine that once the exchanges go live, we would expect, massive volume, and volume is what everybody needs to get their rewards. So that brings us to exchanges. So a couple of weeks ago, we were reaching out to exchanges ourselves, sending them emails and hoping they'd get back to us. Now we are having exchanges contact us every day of the week. We're in every major media. We're on the news. We're on Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, investing.com. Every day there seems to be a new article about us. And now the exchanges are proactively all over us. And we've kind of lost track of how many exchanges want to list us. So what we're going to do, in the initial phase is we're going to go ahead with 6 exchanges. That's all being worked on as we speak. I'm going to give you an overview of those exchanges. I think you know who 1 or 2 of them are, but again, because of NDAs and also because of expectations for timelines, we're not going to announce exchanges, because when we've announced names in the past, we don't know whether it's affected it, but we appreciate the Evergrow army, and you're very supportive and proactive, but obviously lots of messages to exchanges and providers saying, when are you going to list us? And I don't think they like that, to be honest. So we're not going to announce their names, but let me give you the numbers. The 6 exchanges have a combined daily volume of over $8 billion. Now that is enormous. That is cornering a huge part of the market. And they have around 18 million registered users before them. So this would give us unprecedented market exposure. And we expect those exchanges to go live probably around about the same time, because we've been holding off going forward on any individual exchange until we have a universal approach in terms of tokenomics. So that's why we've held off. So we've got these exchanges all lined up now. With some of them, the contracts are signed. With some of them, we've got the contracts effectively ready to send back. So let's talk about tokenomics. So again, we want tokenomics to be automatic and fairly distributed, which is something that centralized exchanges just don't do. And a lot of projects have compromised on this. So what we've got in the initial phase is effectively we've come up with what's turned out to be quite a simple solution, which just involves one small additional step that will allow people buying on those exchanges to fully participate fairly in tokenomics. We're not going to go into what that is yet, because again, we want all 6 exchanges lined up with the same deal, and then it'll literally be a very simple step for investors to take, and it'll all be fair. Everyone will pay the same taxes. Everyone will get the fair proportion of rewards. So this is what we're expecting. But what's come out of these conversations that's actually really exciting, I mean, as in changing the entire industry, is that these exchanges now are looking to upgrade their infrastructure. And I'm not going to say this is 100% down to Evergrow, but I think we are hugely influencing their decisions, because they're seeing our growth and our volume, and we are talking to them about it. And we're the ones who are saying, you need to upgrade your infrastructure. So there is no difference between those buying on Trust Wallet and those buying on a large exchange. So this is what we're going to see now. So Evergrow are going to be on the cusp of this revolution where tokenomics becomes, the main element of crypto going forwards. I think that projects with different utilities will be okay, but I think projects with tokenomics are going to be the ones leading. The centralized exchanges are recognizing this. Clearly, it's a big job. They're going to have to effectively rebuild large parts of their infrastructure to allow this. But we think in a few months, we're going to be effectively, everyone who's invested now and holding is going to be at the cusp of this change in the entire industry. And we do think that the largest exchanges in the world are going to upgrade their infrastructure very soon. So that's really exciting. So we'll obviously already be on these exchanges when that happens, so we'll be one step ahead. We want to talk about something that's also related, that's also very, very exciting, and we've kept this very quiet. We didn't even mention this last week. But in short, within a couple of weeks, we're going to have a minimum of 4, but probably 5 providers of direct credit debit card purchase. And 4 of them, or 3 of them if we only do 3, because we don't necessarily need that many, will cover the US. So that 75% will cover the US. This means that people can basically buy Evergrow direct with fiat currencies, but you're going to have more than one option. You're going to have, we think, 5 options. Now, this is going to happen over the next few weeks. Again, different ones will drop at different times. But this is really exciting. Now, there's something that we're going to push for. We have already spoke to a significant company about. We can't say too much, but this would be a game changer, and we think it's going to happen. And that would be that you can buy Evergrow direct from within your wallet using a debit or credit card. So I'm going to say that is one of our main focuses, but we're not going to give a timeline on that. If we achieve that within, say, 4 to 6 weeks, it would be incredibly exciting. So just to emphasize again, you would open your crypto wallet, you would see Evergrow listed, and you would be able to buy it direct within your wallet. No need to use any other services. So we are working on that. We are not making any promises, but we think that we have a very good chance. We have had some very positive conversations. So as you can see, the reason that we all look quite haggard and tired these days is because we're effectively, in these heavy negotiations with 11 major exchanges and credit card providers. And it's, taking so much going back and forth, so much work. Okay, so again, one more thing that we've done this week that we haven't formally announced, but Ajit, our head dev, and his team have been working very hard on utilities. But in the meantime, we've actually got now on our app, so that's app.evergrow.coin, you can effectively buy BNB direct there with credit card and swap directly for Evergrow coin without leaving the page. So this means you can log on. So if you go to app.evergrow.coin, there's a few options on the left. You'll see the reflections, totals, and you'll see some others. So just have a look around there. But that's up and working. So we didn't announce it, but it's working. So it's pretty exciting stuff that is already running. So you can go on our website now. You can buy BNB Smart Chain in one step, and then you can swap it immediately for Evergrow coin. So we're doing all these things even without being on the centralized exchanges to make it easy for people to buy the coin. And this has been, we've got this dual focus, and you can see what's happened with the market cap over the last few days. All of these little things that we're doing are really helping to make the process easier. You might have noticed on that subject that we haven't actually formally announced Indacoin yet, although they have. That's because we're still waiting for the last stage of the integration, and that was to have our own landing page on the Indacoin website, and also for our own direct website integration. The idea is that you go on our website and there's a buy button, and you're going to be listed with 5, 6, potentially 7 different options. So you might have an account with this one provider. I'm not going to name names. It'd be quite easy for me to slip names out here. You might have an account with one of those 6 providers, and you can buy Evergrow coin straight away. Or you might be wanting to sign up for a new account, and you can look at a few of them, work out which might be the best for you in terms of fees, so you've got a good choice. Okay, so just to summarize that first opening section, 6 exchanges with a combined $8 billion daily volume we're moving ahead with. We like to think we'd be launched on them within a couple of weeks, and 5, we think 5, but definitely 4 debit and credit card payment providers again in the next couple of weeks, with that direct wallet purchase to follow. So it's going to become incredibly easy to buy Evergrow coin, which is obviously, again, people are buying our coin and getting us up to around about $1 billion market cap with actually quite a difficult workaround with pancake swap, especially for people who aren't familiar. So can you imagine where we're going to be when we have exchanges and we have all these easy options on the website within 2 or 3 weeks? So that's really exciting. I want to talk about utilities. It's always been the cornerstone of our project, that we are not just launching a hype project and paying celebs and YouTubers. We've done none of that. We wanted to create fundamental value from the beginning. So utility. So this is good. So for the content subscription platform, we've decided to create a unique brand. I know lots of people wanted it to be called, we've obviously talked about the comparisons with OnlyFans, and they want to go, Everfans and all of this stuff. We don't think that's a good idea. We want to create a unique brand for the content subscription platform. We have secured a great domain and a great name. We're not going to reveal that now because it's all in the process. So we want it to grow as its own brand. We'll have a dedicated team, and we want it to be, the first global content subscription platform that bridges fiat and crypto, where people can pay and tip in crypto or fiat, whatever they need to. So just for people to understand what that is, that will effectively be a space where creators, there's lots of different creators. We know there's been asking about adult contents and over 18s, and we know that does dominate this space a lot. I'm sure there'll be some of that, but it's not going to be a focus. But effectively, that's where they can reach out to their fans. They can provide content, exclusive content, etc., and the fans can pay for stuff, whether it be with Evergrow or fiat. So let's talk about how that helps you. What it does is it creates volume, and you need volume to get your rewards. Okay, so what we're going to do is, if the creators agree to be paid in Evergrow coin, they won't pay any commission and they won't have to pay any tax. So that's going to mean that, versus, for example, OnlyFans, where they pay 20% of everything they earn away, if they choose to be paid in Evergrow, that creates volume for us, so we're all happy. So they're not going to pay anything. They're going to basically get the platform for free. If they choose to receive it in fiat or BNB or Bitcoin, I think this is where the genius arrives. We will charge 5% commission. Now, most projects would be like, yay, we're charging 5% commission. That's the team's like Lambo, we'll make all this money on the side. You guys are buying Evergrow, but we're making 5% commission. That is not the case. And this is going to run throughout our entire project. The 5% commission will be used to buy Evergrow coin So that Evergrow coin will be bought. Obviously, rewards will be paid out on those purchases. It'll be fully tax purchase. And then we're going to burn that Evergrow. So just so you guys understand, we are going to create an amazing global content subscription platform, which we hope will be turning over hundreds of millions of dollars. And every penny that that service makes, we're going to buy Evergrow coin and we're going to burn it. Okay, so we're not going to take anything. I think I need to explain why. I know a lot of people are recognizing this, but our development, our marketing wallet was set up as 1% of volume at the very beginning. Now, I've said this publicly and upset a few people. If I see projects who are diverting, 3, 4, 5% of taxes to their marketing, that's a massive red flag for me. That looks like a project that doesn't think it's going to be around for very long. They could be making millions a day on that tax, okay? And then when they've made their millions, you find out the project doesn't do anything. So for the last 2 weeks, we haven't even been taking our 1% for marketing. As many of you will know, we diverted 1% to liquidity. So for the whole time this project has been launched, our marketing, development, team, salaries, everything has only actually on average taken 0.5% out of the contract, out of the daily volume. And going forward, we will not be successful as a team, we will not be successful as a company unless you are successful as investors, because our income, our revenue, our salaries are 100% linked to volume, just like yours are. Okay, so if the volume dries up because we've failed and we're useless and we can't get anyone using our platforms, we won't make any money either. This isn't a project where we'll still keep rinsing 5% off all the trades and just make millions and millions. It's just not going to happen. We need volume. So we are completely aligned with you guys. And it frustrates me so much. I did so much fundamental analysis on so many crypto projects, and I literally threw out 99.9% of them because I saw these red flags that people just seem to miss. But please don't miss that we cannot make money for the team. We cannot have a budget. We cannot operate unless you are making money as well. And that's why this thing works. That's why we are aligned with you guys. We're working with you. We need it to be successful for you and for ourselves. I'm just saying that over and over again, because if you miss that point, you might miss the reason that why we're the biggest, fastest growing project in history, and why we expect to continue. So the content subscription platform, incidentally, is pretty much ready. The infrastructure, the payment gateways, etc., they're all working. The live streaming features are ready. We're just optimizing things like the user interface, and then we're going to test it. So we are so far ahead, guys, in timing. Like, we are 5 weeks in, and we're already ready to get this thing tested and launched. Once that's launched, because that will take a little bit of work, we're going to follow it with the NFT marketplace. Okay, so we're not going to try to launch 2 things at once. Again, the NFT marketplace is basically finished, but we're not going to sort of put the pressure on ourselves to launch two platforms at once. Okay, we're going to do it sensibly, one at a time. There might be some bugs, there might be some problems. We want to get each one perfect, launch it, then move on to the next one and launch it. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you all. What we're going to do also, we wouldn't do it until we announced it. We believe we've seen the positive effects that diverting more to liquidity has done for the last 2 weeks, and we're actually going to increase that. So what we're going to do, the buyback and burn wallet has so much in it. I mean, we could create the biggest green candle on the planet, but we don't need to. We are adding thousands of users every day, and if a whale does sell, within 2 hours, all their totals have been eaten up, and we're back to where we were. So we're not worried. We have, I can't remember, but certainly well over $1 million in our buyback and burn wallet. So we're actually reducing buyback and burn from 3% down to 1%, and our liquidity pool is going to be up to 4%. So it's just to keep that liquidity pool nice and full. That helps support the price. That means if there is a big sell, it won't drop so much, and it will recover much quicker. So we're actually going to, from the end of this meeting, just to confirm, it'll be liquidity pool will be getting 4%. The buyback and burn wallet, which is very full already, we haven't needed it, will be getting 1%, and marketing will be back to getting 1%. We do have to turn marketing back on, guys, because we have to pay out hundreds of thousands of dollars in exchanges and all these new services that we're signing up for over the next couple of weeks. So we do have to turn marketing back on, but we'll always be very transparent and clear. And obviously, we are taking the lowest amount that any project's taking for marketing anyway. I want to reassure you, because we have there are elements of the contract, like the rewards, that we decided we would keep control of, because obviously a lot of stuff is locked away and we can't touch it. And this is why, guys, we can make strategic decisions every couple of weeks to divert funds to where they're needed in the project to improve it for everybody. And this has been so successful. The last 2 weeks has been so successful diverting those funds. So we're never going to raise the total taxes. We would sacrifice our marketing wallet again for the benefit of you guys. So we wouldn't raise taxes. We would actually sacrifice ourselves. So we'll never raise taxes and we'll never reduce rewards. I'm making those 2 points. The rewards will always be 8%. What we may be able to do in the future is increase rewards. We may be able to lower taxes, but I think people are quite happy with the taxes as long as they see it as a long-term investment. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good summary. Got about 15 minutes or so. So I think what we'll do, I don't know if I think I've covered everything. So maybe we'll just jump straight over to Paul. He might have some questions from YouTube, from Telegram, and also some questions in the room. So Paul, if you're ready to move on to questions.
Sure. One question I got here is if you can touch on a couple of them. They're the same one. If you can touch on the marketplace, NFT marketplace coming up.
Yeah, so we were going to, Praveen can say a little bit now, but the reason that we haven't given details on that is because that's going to be 1 week behind the content subscription platform. So that's why I gave you guys more info on the content subscription platform this week. And then next week, I should have said that, next week we're going to focus on the NFT marketplace, because the NFT marketplace is going to be 2 or 3 weeks off. I mean, Praveen, do you want to just give a brief overview and then we'll cover it in more detail next week?
Yeah, definitely. Like the NFT marketplaces, like we are using the Binance chain. So apart from that, like you might have seen like there are many existing marketplaces. So it's like it's like them, but right now, like what's unique or what's our advantage is that we are using Binance chain, so it's much faster and the transaction fees are much lower. I think like right now most NFT owners or creators are like facing this issue that whenever they mint their NFT, they like pay a high fees or high transaction based on the Ethereum chain. Apart from that, like also in the NFT marketplace, we'll be like keeping the fee, or like you can say the royalties, that if the creator choose to get paid in EGC, then they would be getting like those payment at no commissions. And if like they choose to get paid in BNB or BUSD, then we'll be charging around like 2.5% commission. So definitely like we'll be integrating this into all the platforms we'll be creating in our ecosystem.
Great.
Okay.
So we will give more details on that next week. But again, I just want to emphasize again that the commission from the NFT marketplace, the 2.5%, we will use that to buy Evergrow coin and burn it. So everything goes back into the project. All the revenue create goes back into the project, and the only way we can earn money is through reflections. So we earn money the same way you guys earn money.
Okay. Let's go to, let's say, some Twitter questions. Nick, you can now speak. Unmute yourself. Nick, are you there? There we go. Unmute yourself. Nick? Okay, I'm only going to give about 10 seconds so we can try to move on here, guys.
Yeah, if you're requesting to speak, listen out, be ready, and unmute yourself straight away, because last time we were sitting around for 20, 30 seconds, and if you're not speaking within 5 seconds, we'll drop you.
I'll drop you, and we can always come back. Okay, Camp? You're connecting. I'm going to connect a couple people, guys, and I'm going to connect you and then wait for me to call on you. So this way the connection is already pet. Camp, go ahead.
Hey guys, just curious, when, at what point are you going to do the marketing spend?
So, I mean, the marketing is being turned back on today. It's not that we haven't got anything in the marketing. It's not that we haven't been doing marketing. We've grown to $1 billion market cap this week. I think there's obviously been marketing, but what we need the revenue for is to pay for the exchanges. You know, an average exchange costs about $50,000 to list on. So that's so the marketing has been continuous. There's not been any stop in marketing, but what we what we would risk is running out of marketing budget if we don't turn the marketing wallet back on.
Just one more question. Do you guys plan on having a Discord and doing like hunts, basically going on and Twitter hunts where everybody just kind of jumps in on a post and talks Evergrow?
So I think I can answer that, Sam, if you want me to. We do have a Discord already. We have about 4. I'm gonna have it right in front of me. We have also have a Telegram. We have almost 5,000 people, 4,952, and we also have a Telegram. And after we always run a Discord space. I call it it's called Evergrow Connect, and we do it after the AMAs. And everyone gets on there, and the mods and the admins, and everyone come up and talk, ask more questions. So we do that every week, and sometimes twice a week.
Very cool.
So,
Thank you.
No problem. You can find it on the website. Okay,
Yeah.
Doctor? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask something. The NFTs don't have any value exactly. So how will you lend them? It is totally unsecured loan, right?
Yeah, like our lending platform will be like P2P, that if someone has an NFT, like if you have some exclusive NFT from some star or someone, you can just like put it on our lending marketplace, and then like people would be bidding that how much loan they can give you at what interest and for what time, like for 2 months, 3 months. So that NFT would be like sent to a smart contract where it would be like until the person repays that loan, it will be like sent to the escrow, and once the person pays the loan, the NFT would be back in his account. Else if he fails, the NFT would be transferred to the person who provided him the loan. So it would be P2P.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Crypto newbie. Let's go to crypto newbie first.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, thanks for having me up. So I had a subscriber ask about the content creator portion of the platform, and my assumption is that it's going to be on the website. But the question is for iPhone and Android users, is there going to be any issues with iPhone users specifically? If there's any kind of a phone integration aspect to that, as I think we all know, there's wallet issues for the iPhone users. So I think that's one of the questions that they've got, is just making sure that it's not going to be a problem for iPhone users specifically. And that's it.
Our current version would be web only, like it will be the website, but definitely once we'll be launching the apps, we'll be like finding the workarounds, because our content subscription platform will also have an part where like creators can like just put their NFTs, like they can mint their NFTs apart from posts or the creatives they would be creating. They can also mint NFTs which would be shown in their profile. So I think like Android doesn't have any problem, but iOS, I think like they do have some filters for keywords like NFTs. So we'd be like finding workarounds for that. I think like they allow collectibles or other terms if we use. So I think like once we launch the app, we'll be like, for content subscription, we won't be facing much issue.
Yeah, and I'll add again, just to emphasize what I said at the beginning, we are going to create a unique brand. So we're not going to call it Ever, whatever it might be. We're going to create a unique brand, and ultimately there will be an app, there will be an iOS app, there will be an Android app. But we want to get it launched on web first. It will be effectively a standalone company that will generate volume exclusively for Evergrow Coin. So this is like a connected service.
Okay, Crypto Vin, you can go ahead.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. Appreciate it. I just have a question about the fees, like you were just speaking about before, about the marketing fee and the reflection and the buybacks. How is that determined, and who determines it, and what are the checks and balances in determining those fees? And I was also wondering if the project is a registered business entity, where that is and what it is? Thanks.
Yeah, so the fees were obviously set at the beginning. What determines it are strategic decisions from the core team. So as you've seen, I mean, these things are all trackable on the blockchain, incidentally. So at no point would we increase the total taxes or would we reduce the rewards. So the only changes we've actually made to the fees so far was diverting our own marketing budget, which you can see has been stopped for 2 weeks. You can see that on BSC scan over to liquidity. And now we're going to turn our marketing budget back on at 1%, which is what we said in the original white paper. We're not going to go above that. What we didn't say in the white paper was that we would turn off our own budget occasionally, but we will do that. And then we're going to divert some of the buyback and burn, which we just don't feel is needed at the moment, also to liquidity. In terms of registering a company, we've covered this a lot. It's obviously something that almost no projects.
Like
Oh, sorry,
we already have like gone through many legal checks of exchanges with whom we are in talks with, and like they have already approved our project. Like they checked various legal pages, our business registration documents, and all such. They also provided us with legal opinions. So we are like registered in US, and currently like in the future we'll be like obviously registering Evergrow as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. So if I'm just trying to understand this, so I fully understand it. So the core team gets together, decides, hey, we want to raise the marketing fee. Is there a vote that's taken, or I mean,
Well, I'll just jump in that that is not a decision we would make because the only decision we've made on the marketing fee was to reduce it to 0 for the last 2 weeks. The only decisions we would make would be where to move things like buyback and burn. We would never reduce liquidity. Obviously, we'd increase it. So there's never going to be a meeting where we sit down and go, "Hey guys, let's put our marketing fee up to 5%, like all those other projects that we don't believe in." Effectively, we are the team running this project. We make those strategic decisions. We announce them before we do them. So 2 weeks ago, we announced on the AMA that we would be turning our wallet off, and we did it after the AMA. Today, we've said we'll turn our wallet back on, and we're going to move 2% of buyback and burn. So we do everything. We announce everything before we do it. And as any organization, we have a core team who are making those decisions between us, strategic decisions. And obviously, as Praveen said, there is a US registered company behind, but we're actually obviously going to register, a specific LLC for Evergrow. But obviously, determining where that company is registered when you have an international team has been one of the interesting sort of conversations we've had. We are pretty sure where we're going to do it, and it's very likely to be in a region where cryptocurrency is regulated. We have mentioned this before. We're not going to give exact details right now, but on our team call earlier on today, we said that we would like in the early part of 2022 to very likely register as a regulated cryptocurrency, which would mean that we were only one of a handful of all the cryptos in the world that have ever actually done that, incidentally. So again, these are the steps that we've always taken to be ahead on things like security, because it's all valid questions. But I don't think, considering we're a very open, very docs team, if we suddenly decided after everything we've said to put our marketing above 1%, we would have some serious problems for the project. And as I say, we can't make money unless you're making money. So it would be very illogical for us to jeopardize this project because we would stop earning money ourselves.
Okay, next question. Wiener? You don't want me to say this, Wiener? Go ahead.
It's actually Werner, but the question is, taking in consideration with audits, I think a lot of listeners want to know regarding a feasible audit, like someone like CETIC that did Shiba.
Werner, I'll interrupt you because we've covered this every week. We've been fully audited twice, and we will have further audits. So we have announced this. It's everywhere. It's in the public domain. If you Google it, you'll see that we've been audited twice with 100% pass on every security measure. But we will be audited again. So valid question, but obviously we have been very public about that we were audited twice. So yeah, we will have further audits.
Yeah, I think we're getting a lot of new listeners and new people to the project. So I think some questions are coming up that were in the past. So try to move on. Maxine.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I'm back on
Yes.
the wife's Twitter here. But
Oh
first of
yeah.
all, yeah, I just want to say a massive congratulations and thank you to the team. What a journey it's been thus far. I know a lot of people are significantly up and absolutely loving this journey and ride. So thank you guys. Also, I'd like to say congrats on Indacoin. I know we were waiting sort of anxiously on that, and that was followed through on. And so thank you for that. My question again pertains to exchange listings. Sam, you mentioned that there were about 6 exchanges. My question really sort of zeroes in on timelines. You did say about 2 to 3 weeks, give or take. My specific question really is: could we see then sort of one exchange first, or is it sort of the 6 all in one go at a certain date type of thing, or will one be sooner than later, or you know?
Yeah, I think with our experience with Indacoin, I think we're expecting to sort of give them all the green light on the final structure. Basically Monday, Tuesday this week. You know, as I said, a lot of them, the fees have been paid and the contracts are signed, and it was us trying to find a sort of one solution fits all across a number of exchanges. So we've been contacted by kind of 24 exchanges maybe, and we filtered down to the top ones that we want to use. And then we've worked with them all individually, and we've come up with a solution that we want the same solution for all of them. That's what it's been a bit of a delay on. Like Bitmart have been very patient waiting for us, because we kind of agreed with them, over a week ago. But we said, look, we want to get all 6 exchanges aligned, and we're pretty much there now. So what will happen is we'll probably go ahead with all 6 formally at the same time. But again, as we found with Indacoin, it may be that one of them is really quick, like 3 to 5 days is what they generally promise. But then, there'll be a couple that come along a few days later, maybe one will be 2 weeks late. So I think essentially we'll probably greenlight them all about the same time. We wanted to have a consistent solution because we didn't want people to be confused about, as I said, there'll be a very simple additional step that people have to take advantage of tokenomics. We're not quite sure why other coins didn't sort of take the simple approach on this. But anyway, that's something else. And we needed them to agree to it. So we wanted all 6 to agree to the same thing. So that's basically why we haven't gone ahead with one, say, a week ago, and then we're just going to go ahead with them all at the same time. But they all generally promise sort of somewhere between 1 to 2 weeks. That's what they say to us, but we'll just have to hope that it doesn't take too long.
Okay, thank you, Maxine. Sam, you're just blowing my mind with all that. Your first 15 minutes, it blew my mind. I'm trying to process it all myself. It's so great. Mike,
Yeah.
go ahead and unmute yourself and speak.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. So quick question around, I understand the auto buyback, and I remember I was in like on day 8 or 9, and there was something called a moonshot, which is if things crash. Can you explain how that works and what the trigger is to make that happen?
Yeah, like in the function we have buyback multiplier where like it's a similar, like we are purchasing the token but the amount is like quite high. So you can say that will be a moonshot in simple
But I guess
terms.
what triggers that? What could potentially
That
trigger that is my question.
Well, yeah,
um
it's an interesting one because,
buyback, yeah,
well,
go on.
it's one of those strategic team decisions. What we're doing is we're studying the trading patterns. So the last sort of day, we've actually had, when a whale, let's call them a whale if they're selling like a large amount, they're not necessarily a whale. Lots of people have got large amounts of Evergrow now. I think originally that a big sell-off, a 10, 15%, maybe 20% drop, we would have actually turned on the buyback and burn. Now, the moonshot is when we just chuck one enormous trade at it, 100 BNB, let's say. That's a moonshot. But the strategic buyback and burn is when, over the course of, say, an hour or two, the contract will buy a series of smaller amounts, and it will be more of a steady sort of increase. But what we found recently is if we've just had a little bit of patience, because we're at this point now where the contract has effectively gone parabolic. We saw Crypto Newbie. I watched his video earlier on. It was really good, and he kept refreshing the page, and it was like every time he refreshed the page, there was like 2 or 3 new. And then he was talking about refreshing the page every 2 or 3 seconds. There were 2 or 3 new accounts on BSC. So effectively, we're not too worried now if there's a big red candle, because we are seeing it being brought up without our help. What we could sometimes do with buyback and burn, which we have done, is we've used sort of a bit of technical analysis on the chart to decide when to buy, when it would be good from a technical point of view to support the price at a certain level. So it is, again, these things are strategic. We're not automating that element at the moment, and we haven't really needed it for the last few days. We used it more when there was a lot of FUD and a lot of misinformation and a lot of people just putting out plain lies about us. We needed it more then because people were panicking and they were selling for no reason, and it was causing a lot of people problems. Now effectively the world has woken up to the contract and they know the team, and there's a lot more trust and acceptance. There's a lot less nerves. Obviously once you see us like talking to you every single week and being very transparent and open, it helps people with their nerves and stuff. So in short, we haven't had to use it so much, but it's there. We've got a huge amount to use, so it does support the price if we really need it. But at the moment, when we're taking on like 10,000 new investors a day, they're kind of doing the job for us. So it's being held in reserve.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, Sam. I don't know if you saw yesterday. I think we had one. I think the max sell, what it was, and the dip got eaten up in 2 hours, like it was nothing. So
it was amazing. Someone sold $1 million in one go. We had a little chat about that. Look, I've got no problem if someone who invested really early sat on a big profit and they go, you know what, I need to get rid of some of this. I've never seen this sort of money in my life. I want to go and buy my Lambo, whatever it might be. That's absolutely fine. We're not at a point in this project anymore where it matters. We're taking on tens of thousands of people a day. What I will say to those people is, if you want to take out some profits, if you do it all in one go, that's just bad for you, because you're going to end up creating a big red candle. It's going to devalue your pot. Your trade's going to go through at a much lower value. So if people want to take some profits, just do it in smaller tranches, because everybody's eating up your trades, and then the price is going back up, but you're selling it at that reduced price when you trigger that with the slippage and everything. So we've literally, every time if a guy sells $1 million and 1,000 new investors buy up those tokens, the entire project has improved dramatically in the space of 2 hours, because we've distributed from a whale to 1,000 long-term investors, and it's so positive. So we literally have no problem with it anymore. The team have no nerves about it. We think the investor community is starting to see it over and over again, so they're not getting upset about it. So it's just positive. The more people that sign on, the more stability we're going to see, and then ultimately the price will keep increasing.
I agree, Sam. There's no more panics when that happens. Actually, everyone cheers and they go rewards, and then they go buy the dip.
And that's the magic of the contract. Yeah,
great.
Paul, exactly. Because the magic of the contract means that they've got US dollar awards, so they can use those dollars to buy more Evergrow than they could like 5 minutes before, because they've been building up their rewards and they're diving. So it's just, this is where all these elements of the contract come together in this sort of perfect storm.
Okay, Sheep, go ahead and speak.
Hey, yeah, congratulations on a pretty big, massive growth you have had so far. I have been invested with you for about 4 weeks now. So my question is, and I love the transparency which you have, and I got some answers clarified based on your, exchange listing and things like that. What is your strategy around? What is your burn strategy? How much of burn you want to do at some point in time? Is there any timeline? Is there? I know you are at 51%, but do you have a roadmap around how much you want to burn and what time?
The burn is organic, because it's dictated obviously by volume. The more volume, the more that goes into buyback and burn, the more that gets burned. And then obviously once the utilities go on, you're going to see the burn increasing, because as we said, any commissions that are charged via content subscription, NFT, etc., will be used to buy and burn. So the burn is an organic thing. It's not, we can't just do it because we don't control the tokens. You guys have the tokens. I think that's another really important of the element of this project. is we don't control the tokens. The tokens are in the public domain. We can only get our hands on tokens through the volume, through the contract. So those tokens will drop into the buyback and burn. That's when we burn them. And those tokens that drop into that wallet can only be used to buy and burn because it's a restriction of the contract. So it's all organic, but the burn will increase as the utilities come online.
All right. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Also, Sam, I think you maybe followed up on, like, you guys don't have any idea when you want to stop the burn. I think it's too early to be thinking about that. Is that correct?
Again, it's just an organic thing, but the thing is, the burn won't effectively remove all coins from circulation or anything like that.
I mean stopping the burn.
Well, it's built into the structure of the contract that the burn continues. But all it does, the people talk about how a project like this could ever get to like 1 cent with all those zeros. The answer is through through constantly reducing the supply. We don't need 490 trillion tokens in circulation. So this is why someone who buys now and holds for say 5 years, they could be sat on, if they have the discipline to just not sell. The supply is going to diminish over time. But I think we talked about this a few calls ago. There's a kind of curve that flattens out eventually, even with an ongoing burn, where the burn just would take sort of 100 years to affect supply. So there is a natural flattening of the curve when it comes to the burn anyway. But it's just a good thing. The burn is an organic, natural part of the contract, and it will just make everyone's tokens worth more.
Like even for our utilities, like we would have reserved some percentage of tokens to reward the curators, but we didn't do that. Like many platforms, even like you can see about Steemit, like they had like reserved tokens to reward the curators or anyone who uses that platform, that new tokens would be minted and distributed to them. But in the end, it only caused inflation, and there were so much tokens in circulation that the project like ultimately the price went down. So we have like kept everything opposite, that as if the platforms grows, then the tokens would be like putting out of circulations instead of generating new tokens to reward the curators.
So there you go. I mean, that's why, again, another thing that the devs, when they were putting together this was not an overnight thing. This was like years of studying projects to optimize, and everything's been thought of. Yeah, no, that I get that. I mean, I was just going on, and this is with so many questions coming up, and that wasn't. I don't want to go on this. We'll take another question. It was like, these societies, when they want to stop it. I'm talking about like 5-10 years from now. You stop it at 1 trillion eventually. Because this becomes so rare, or 100 million, whatever it is. But we'll go on to the next question. Saying, it doesn't. You don't know. Mathematically, you don't need to. Is what I'm saying. It's because there's the curve flattens. There's a formula that you can apply. The curve flattens, so it can carry on organically, but it will become less and less. It will affect it less and less in total. Yeah, maybe we'll create some sort of informative content on that, because it's a complex sort of mathematical thing that explains it away, why you don't need to stop the burn. But the difference between our project and other projects is we don't have tokens in reserve that we could just flood onto the market. Everything is out there already. Our process has to be organic. It has to be based on volume. We can't just stop burning because the contract itself is designed to continue burning. But it won't get to a point where there's not enough. No one's going to mind like reduced supply, because their tokens will just be worth more and more. Yeah. Okay. Weed42, unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? First of all, I really think the project is really innovative with the way that reflections are paid off via the Binance paid dollar. I would like to reference, my question is with the massive sell-offs being eaten up so quickly, it's really awesome. But as I dissect some of these transactions, especially some of the larger ones, I'm noticing that a lot of the buyback, sometimes 40-50%, is divvied up among the same wallet that sold off. So I'm wondering what is going to help to mitigate the possible pumping and dumping type behavior that would be beneficial with reflections being taken.
The truth is that, so let's say a whale has $5 million and they sell $1 million. They still have $4 million that will receive some of the reflections of their sale. That's why they get reflections. It's because they have a percentage invested. But again, we're just this stuff just isn't a concern. There's no such thing as an investment or a project that can prevent people from selling. That would be a very negative thing. If people want to sell and spend their dollars on a Lambo, they can do it. There'll always be someone who comes along and buys it, and the reflections go proportionately to everybody. So if someone sells and they cause the market cap to drop 15% for a couple of hours, the 4 million they've got left has also dropped 15%, and they've had to pay 14% tax on their $1 million sale. So for us, it's, let them do it. Like, let them distribute those rewards amongst everybody. They'll get some of the rewards because they've still got $4 million left. I just don't think there's a problem to fix, to be honest. I think it's just working.
Also, like once we are listed on like other exchanges, I think like if someone drops a big bag on PancakeSwap, then definitely the traders on other exchanges would move on to PancakeSwap to buy those tokens at cheap rate, and then they'll
I
be selling those
guess I
tokens
wasn't
on Bitmart.
too
So
concerned with the selling of the large amount. Is more of them buying back in increments at the same large amount, affecting the growth rate of the coin via.
But again, it's like we can't stop people from trading. Imagine if they went to someone on Wall Street and said, "Guys, you can't like sell high and then buy low. You can't do that. Like, we can't control that. If someone wants to sell 1 million tokens and give you guys 140 grand reflections, and then buy 1 million tokens and give you guys another 140 grand, we can't control that, and we wouldn't want to. It's if people want to try to swing trade, that's fine. These are effectively financial markets, and we can't control how people choose to trade our coin. All we know is that we are getting more and more people on board every day. We're creating a stable base for the price. We expect it to keep continuing upwards. We've certainly not reached anywhere near where we expect to be. But I mean, I know we've been asked questions like this before, and I'll be honest, I would be very, very wary of a project that tried to prevent people from doing what they want to do with their money. We're never going to dictate or try to write something into the contract that stops somebody trying to sell and buy back in. If they want to do that, then they can do that. Yeah, sorry, carry on. Next question.
Yeah, and just guys, let me call on you. Hold on a second. I'll call on you. I'm going to get to Daniel first. Miguel, can you mute your mic, please? I just want to say I'm taking people down after one question because I'm getting so many requests. We want to get through as many questions as we can. We don't want to stay on for 2 hours. So if I don't keep you on to say thank you, it's nothing against you. Daniel, go ahead.
Sam and Evergrow team, you guys have been doing a fantastic job, so congratulations there. 2 quick questions. Any thoughts of getting into metaverse capability? And second question, Sam, can you speak a little bit to this whole coin market cap fiasco, especially as it relates to the accuracy of the data feed?
Yeah, so Praveen can talk about metaverse if he's thought about it yet. I'm sure it's very early on, and we have sort of raised an eyebrow and thought, we could look at that. But I don't think that there's anything that we've been able to achieve like in the short space of time. We're a lot too focused on other things. The coin market cap, man, it's just one of those things. It wasn't just our project that was affected. For anyone who doesn't know, if you go on coin market cap at the moment, our chart is a complete mess because coin market cap had this crazy data problem. They were migrating. They were doing some engineering to migrate, and they did send us an email, which we put up, and basically it screwed up all of our prices. All of our wallet holders suddenly became trillionaires. It didn't affect anything underlying. It didn't affect the actual value. You could still buy and sell at the real value. It was just that you've got to remember that coin market cap is what feeds, for example, Trust Wallet, its data. So when they screw up, the data in Trust Wallet is wrong. But it doesn't mean that when you trade that anything's affecting you. So we are in touch again with CoinMarketCap because they've also not verified us, which means we should be in the top 100 now, but we're not. It's just because we're so early that they haven't really caught up. They don't tend to verify projects this early, but obviously now that we've grown so quickly, we need to verify. But just so everyone knows, it's not fixed yet, but the immediate problems that the valuations are now correct. And CoinMarketCap feeds a lot of data providers, and we do want them to sort out the chart because it just looks ridiculous and it affects all of our data in the right hand side of CoinMarketCap. But it's not just us that are affected. They are aware of it. We've kind of nagged them a little bit now to get it done. Also, you don't want to be too mean with someone like CoinMarketCap because they're very, very powerful, so we need to be diplomatic and say our pleases and thank yous and try to be reasonably patient. But yeah, we do want it sorted. It's just a data blip. So people should just go on maybe PooCoin and they'll get the accurate data there.
Okay, Miguel, go ahead.
Yeah, thank
Crypto
you.
King, can you please unmute your mic? Miguel?
All right, guys. So first of all, congratulations on this coin. Very happy with it. I just have a question regards to the content creator platform. What is the marketing that you have in place to grow the platform?
Like the first step would be to get the creators on board, because if someone who has like 50K followers or thousands of followers, and if they like decided to get on board on our platform, I think they will do the marketing for us, and it will be a free marketing. So if we like get good influencer or good creators on our platform, they will do the job for us. Apart from that, like for the basic marketing, we'll be definitely be doing it, and you will be like, let's once it's launched, I think like we already have many people who have like sent us messages, who have applied for verification on the beta platforms, and like we have been seeing a quite good response even before the platform is launched. So as soon as it's launched, we'll be like going through like apps, influencers, YouTubers, and obviously news. So
Okay, next, Crypto King.
Yes. First of all, I want to say thank you to your crew, Sam and Praveen and the rest of the group. You guys are unbelievable. From day one, you guys have been unbelievable. Paul and Crypto Control, unbelievable. Wanted to just say to my pack and also Todd, great, week. My questions for you guys are for the volume that's going to be shared um, for shared holders. I wanted to know going forward for the rewards. Is that going to be one giant pool for tokenomics rewards?
I apologize. For some reason, I lost the last 10 seconds. Can you just repeat the question
Yeah.
for me?
So as far as the tokenomics rewards, I wanted to know, is that going to be one giant pool going forward for, the other exchanges and what we currently have?
Yeah, so this has always been what we're working on, and this is why we haven't just dived into these exchanges. So the short-term solution is going to, and this will all be revealed once things go live, is going to involve a single, pretty simple additional step for everyone to effectively opt in for rewards, which obviously people are going to do. And it should be something that's pretty much universal, and that would keep the rewards pool all the same and everyone equal. And then, as we said, what we are from the conversations, we think the exchanges have kind of the pennies dropped, and then we expect them actually to ultimately upgrade their infrastructure over the coming months. Now, bear in mind we're talking about giant multi-billion-dollar global companies, so it's not going to happen overnight. I think people have to be patient in terms of when we would expect to see the first exchanges upgrade their systems. So yeah, it's always been our intention to give people the ability to participate equally in the rewards program, and that's what we're expecting when these exchanges go live. That with a little extra step from everybody, they will be in an equal position to everyone, and all the volume will be equal for everybody.
That is great news, and that's the number one question we get, and that it's going to be Ahmed.
Hi dear, thank you guys for the wonderful conference. I have just a couple of questions. Actually, we are managing big funds from Saudi Arabia and the Middle East and the Dubai and Kuwait as well. And recently we've been pumping a lot of money in the crypto. But when you spoke about the NFT, I'm a bit new to this industry and concept. I would like to just get more information about the NFT, if it's similar to the conventional banking, because as a cultural and a lot of funds in Saudi Arabia and those big funds are concerned about the way of its conventional banking, similar to conventional banking, or it's because they most do their transactions through Islamic banking. If it's similar to that in the lending system. And the second question is,
let's do one at a time.
do you have? Come
Praveen,
again?
Let's do one. Let's do one
we'll
at a
do
time.
the first, and then we'll come back to you, and you can ask the second question. Otherwise, we'll lose track. Praveen, do you want to pick that up?
Yeah, like in simple term, NFTs are like digital version of like you can create if you have something as small as an image, you can also like turn it into an NFT. Like in the games, if we have like different characters, you can generate NFTs of all those characters which can be used in that game. So this is like it's a digital version where you can define that only 10 images of this type would be generated, and you are the owner, which would be like visible on the blockchain, that who holds that contracts or who is the owner of the contract. And if you sell it to someone else, then that will be reflected on the blockchain as well, that he is the current owner and this much amount was paid and everything. So it's like a ledger but for digital versions, and everything can be tracked.
I'll jump in because I think I understand the question is more about, is this going to be Sharia compliant financing, effectively Islamic law, which we understand it's a valid question. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's something that we can answer on this call, but it is something I think that should go into consultation because it's a very valid question. And obviously it could be beneficial to the project to have that consulted on to see if it does align with Sharia compliant financing.
Yeah, definitely. Like we can discuss.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna limit everyone to one question because we have, we're already going on 1 hour and we have a lot of speakers. And whenever Sam wants to stop, he's gonna tell me. But I just want to get as many as possible. Vialis, unmute yourself.
Hi. Thank you.
Hi.
I'm just looking for a little more clarity on Indocoin. I know it's not ready in terms of integration with your website, which is a great idea, by the way. But I know you're saying you want to add this extra step that will allow everybody to see reflections from the total volume. But I want to know today, if I bought Evergrow coin on Indocoin, will I be seeing reflections from the total volume? Just looking
what
for
you
some
need
clarity.
to this is what we actually wanted Indocoin to hold off on their launch, and we did ask them, and they just went ahead and launched anyway. As long as you use your existing your MetaMask or TrustNet wallet, then yes, you just need to make sure. This is why we didn't want them to announce it, to be honest, because our landing page is going to limit it so that you can only put your Trust Wallet or MetaMask wallet, and then it will go direct into that wallet, and you don't need to have an Indocoin based account. You just use Indocoin to process the payment, and it drops into your Trust Wallet. So this, or your MetaMask. So this is what I'm saying to people: is that this is just around the corner, and it's basically their guys just giving us our final design for our landing page, and also for the API that can be integrated onto the website. So it has been a little bit frustrating for us, as you can probably tell, because we just don't want to put things out there that aren't going to work perfectly. So just remember, at the moment, if you go on Indocoin, yes, it's working, it's fine. If you go on the website, it's just everybody's just buying Evergrow coin on there. It's like all the news flash on the top is either people buying Bitcoin or Evergrow. So it's working, but I would say open your Trust Wallet or MetaMask wallet first. Again, Crypto Dreams has a video that just put up yesterday, I think, how to open it. It's very, very easy to get your Trust Wallet, and then drop that wallet address into Indocoin, and it will automatically drop your Evergrow coin in there. So don't create a wallet on Indocoin, okay? Because you don't need to. You need to use your Trust Wallet and your MetaMask. And we didn't want them to effectively go live until that was ready, and that instruction was clear. So I hope everyone appreciates that now.
And if you need more,
yeah, also like Indocoin sources their liquidity from PancakeSwap. So definitely, like if about the question about your reflections. So if you have like EGC in your Trust Wallet, you will definitely be getting the reflections.
And any other questions on how to integrate that on Telegram or Discord, we can answer your questions. We have steps if you need to be shown how to do that. Okay, Oxbrow?
Hey there.
Yes.
Just wanted to say thanks for, we'll just keep on doing everything you're doing, because you're making it really easy for me to bring other people in with how forthright you are and by the books, and I appreciate it. My question is about the NFTs, or not the NFTs, but the content platform. And has there been any thought about, who's going to own the content? Like if it's going to be blockchain owned, like Unimoon is doing by the creator, and like if there's a page that we can share with our favorite content creators where we can just give them an easy link, they can find out more about Evergrow and the platform.
Like, I didn't get the last part. Can you just repeat?
I just want to share the platform with other content creators and, tell them to come on board, check this out. And it's a great way to, make income. And I also know that a lot of them care about, like on YouTube owns those videos. They can take them down whenever they want. They have the rights to them. If this is going to be on the blockchain, is it going to be that the content creator owns his content, much like I see other, like Unimoon is somebody who's doing something that's really cool with that, was the last part of that.
Currently, like all the content will be stored on the server, if that's what you're asking, because the content is obviously like exclusive to the creator, that only the subscribers or those who have subscribed to him can access that content. But for the NFTs, which the creators would be like minting on in the content subscription platform, we are also adding like the NFTs features which the creators can create. So those NFT definitely would be on blockchain, because without blockchain the NFTs can't be. So for the content, I think like initially if we want to like keep the platform fast and everything, then we have like kept everything on the servers, but the content is obviously exclusive to the creator and they own the copyright to it.
Yeah, so that answers the second part of the question. And in terms of, as you said, we're going to be hopefully revealing the brand name, but it will be a very nice brand that we're going to create separately as a separate brand. So again, it'll be easy to sort of share that to people. It's not going to sort of instantly look like a crypto project. It's going to look like a content subscription platform that is integrated with crypto and fiat.
Okay, great question. Steve?
Hi guys, thanks for getting me on here today again. So I'm just that I haven't been in crypto long. I'm not very technical. We don't know a lot about it, but I've got a couple of coins now. I only go for like deflationary coins. I just find this Evergrow is like took everyone by surprise. I think even the professionals. I've got friends and family who have bought in, are excited and come in, but my reflections last time I spoke to you were $2 a day. I haven't increased my bag, and now I'm getting, last 2 days I'm getting over $20 a day, which is amazing. Just one thing about the support. Obviously, there's thousands and thousands of more holders now. A lot of us, we don't really know what we're buying. My sister having to buy it with me on the phone, live with pictures and photos, and it was just crazy. So the fact that it might get easier is great news. All I want to know is she really is at her end. She's at her wit's end because her coins have gone out of her wallet, and she's at her wit's end because it's kind of driving her mad. And I just wondered if there's any way she could contact somebody just to.
So Steve, I'll just jump in here because this is something obviously that we get. We cover sort of week after week, is that there are teams of dozens of people who are in our support infrastructure, and we constantly say join Telegram, join Discord. There are people there 24 hours a day. And I will add again, if somebody has, for example, made a mistake and sent their Evergrow coin to the contract address, which happens, those coins are burned automatically. We do not control the coins. I think we've had to say that a couple of times on this very call. We are not a project that held back a bag of coins or have control or can dip into the burn wallet and take coins out. It's all gone. It's all locked down. So, before you do anything, before you transfer, please just go on to YouTube and find videos. There are brilliant videos out there. We think that, there are. Oh, I think someone's mic's on.
I got it.
We do get people asking questions, and it seems like they haven't taken the first obvious step, like to join Telegram group where we have and the Discord where we have dozens of full-time admins who are there answering people's questions all day. So we'd always say, like, please take those steps first. But if you have a problem with, say, Trust Wallet or MetaMask, please understand that we cannot control what those third-party apps do or what you do with your tokens. If you send your tokens to the contract address, I'm really sorry to say they're gone. We can't retrieve them because that's how secure the contract is, that we don't have control over anybody's coins. The coins are all out there. All we control is, the marketing, the things like the rewards parameters and things like that, but we can't touch people's coins. And that also means that we can't help somebody recover their coins if they've had their wallet hacked because they clicked on a malicious link or something like that. I know it's hard for people to hear this if they've lost their coins, but the whole point of a crypto project is that it's effectively community owned, and the people running it do not have sort of full. We can't just dip in and do things. That's for your protection. Things are locked down and they're out of our reach for your protection. Otherwise, we could just dip in and take people's coins and do all sorts of things. So, the things that are there to protect you also mean that, we can't provide customer support if somebody has transferred their coins to somebody, or if somebody's had their Trust Wallet hacked. That is nothing to do with us. That's a third-party provider. We put the contract in motion. We're doing the marketing. We're getting the exchanges listed. We're controlling the taxes and the liquidity, sending things more to the liquidity pool. Those are things that we're in control of. But what we're not in control of is the coins, because they're all in distribution. You guys own them all. They're all out there. There is nothing. We don't hold back 20% of the coins for contingency. They're all out there, and which is great for you. That's how a project should be.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. And we as a whole team and as everyone, we hate to hear stories about people, losing their coins, getting hacked, scams, or send them to a different place or the contract. We hate hearing that. We're sorry about it, and we do everything we can to alert people about scammers and the sites. We will never DM you first. Please always double check, recheck, and don't click any link from anybody. Okay, Jay.
Yes, hey, thank you so much. This is a great project. I've been part of it for about 5 weeks or so. I was initially part of the AMC group, and one of the issues that I did have was in that group, whenever you had questions or some sort of dissent, you were always attacked. I believe it was on Friday. There was, I believe it was on AMA as well. I invited some of my AMC colleagues and that we had invested in and to listen. The host mentioned something about if someone said something negative, he would hunt them down on social media and do this and do that. Your group is extremely professional. I appreciate it, and a lot of us investors appreciate that as well. So that not only rubbed me and my colleagues that I had invited to listen in on the wrong way, but also it sort of reminded us of our time when we were investing with the AMC.
Well,
Is there?
I mean, I'll cut in here because I mean I'm not aware of this, and I don't know if anyone in this room is aware of this. These forums are for asking, obviously stuff about the contract, about the project.
Right.
These aren't for saying, they aren't really for discussing like an argument in Telegram between one or two people. If there is an issue, if like the admins are overseen, there is an admin leadership in place. If there's an issue with an admin, but this really isn't the place to discuss it. This is for people looking to invest.
Okay.
Like people are gonna bicker, people are gonna argue. We're sorry if that happens. If any of our team have acted unprofessionally, let us know and we'll investigate it. But it's just not the place to discuss today, I'm afraid.
I apologize. My
No,
question.
I appreciate it's valid for you, but it's like there are thousands of people listening, and
Right.
someone having an argument in a Telegram group it's just not what we're here to answer today.
The question that I did have is what is Evergrow doing to reach Latin America? I'm a medical consultant. I travel to Latin America about once or twice a month, and when I was there 2 weeks ago, I spoke to some people and they've never heard of Evergrow. So, is there some ideas of how to reach?
Yeah, I think it's actually valid. I appreciate that question because it's raises some other points. We've had people contact us offering to offer translations for the white paper. I think the truth is at this stage that we do have supporters in Asia who are sort of reaching out to groups. I know we do have a lot of investors in Latin America. We've had people come on this group in these discussions and talk to us from there. I think the truth is, after 5 weeks, the media have been responsible for a lot of the information that's going out there. They've written a lot of articles, and I think these things naturally seep in. I think for a 5-week-old project to, not necessarily have made it into sort of foreign languages yet is probably normal. But we are thinking about all these things further down the road. Offering the white paper in multiple languages. Obviously, Google does a lot of this stuff automatically now. So look, these things I think they'll organically happen. I think a lot of what we've seen, a lot of the information has been spread by YouTube and by the media, and obviously once YouTubers in Latin America start cottoning on, and the media in Latin America start writing articles, there'll be that organic growth. But it's a very valid question, and it's the same globally. But when a project is spreading virally, these things do actually happen naturally, but it can take a little longer for them to seep into foreign languages.
Great question. Okay, we're going to take these four more questions that are up on here, the speakers, and then we're going to wrap up. We're getting into that past the hour mark. So
Perfect.
First, let's go to Lewis.
Paul, just a quick jump in. I just want to say congratulations to Evergrow coin. We just passed 1 billion for the fourth time in the 24 hours.
All that nice volume up and down around a bit. I think a little bit of consolidation around such a significant area is actually really healthy. When you look back at a chart and you see a little bit of consolidation, you realise that it builds a bit of support. So yes, Paul, absolutely agree. Let's have 4 quick last questions. Just the question. Say everything you've got to say in the question, and then you'll be muted, and we'll move on to the next question because we're already sort of pushing towards an hour and a half. And I think Safe Moon Sunday starts soon, and we've always been respectful to those guys, and we don't want to clash. So let's 5-6 more minutes, and then we'll wrap it up.
Got it, Lewis.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
For the NFT play to earn game down the road, would you be able to allow like PvP of some sort? So let's say I want to bet $5 against a person, he puts up $5, and you guys could take a 5% staking fee.
I think for now, sorry to cut you off, but we're focusing on those first 2. As I said, we're focusing on the first 2 utilities first. That's going to be third. So, fourth, in fact. So what we'll do is we'll give a lot more information for each service shortly before launch. So we'll jump on to the next question. But thanks for the question. We will cover that once we're getting closer to launch of that particular service.
Okay, Masood.
Yes, hi. Thank you for taking my question. It's more of a general knowledge question. So I know there's a lot of coins still sitting in circulation currently. There's probably like a few trillion. Where's the rest of these coins sitting right now?
I don't really understand the question, but we have said quite a few times that
are you talking about the Burn wallet? Because 51% has been sent to Burn wallet.
It's all on BSC, so look, we'll just break it down one more time. So I do appreciate that particularly new investors might not have heard this covered in previous AMAs. 51.6% has been burnt. 5% is locked down in the original dev team wallet. Everything else is in circulation. All other coins. There are no reserve coins. So that answers that question. Okay.
Yes. Okay, Sanjay SG? Sanjay? Unmute yourself. Okay, Belle?
Hi there. So just a quick question about your content creation platform. So I'm currently a content creator on OnlyFans. So I'm just wondering, like, if you guys are planning on being kind of as big as OnlyFans and what market research you've done, just because there's kind of quite a lot of issues that come with a lot of the content platforms out there at the moment. So I just kind of wondered what kind of research you'd been doing into the other platforms out there.
Yeah, like the most common issues all of them were facing was like their payment providers were declining to accept payments because they have been like there has been adult content being shared on their platforms, and like their payment processors were not comfortable for that. So I think we are solving that through crypto because no one can stop crypto payments. So definitely, because that's the main issue. Apart from that, one thing which we are doing is that the commissions, which is like lowest if you compare with any other platform, like average they charge around 50 to 20% commissions. So that's how like we have been doing quite a lot of research where we can improve in the current infrastructure or what we can do unique apart from like what they are already providing to the creators. So definitely will be like if we find something else or if we can also upgrade the websites or the features in the near future based on the feedback we received from the creators.
Yeah, and again, a great answer always from Praveen is that we are solving two very unique problems: high commissions and also issues with payments. Look, we're going to cut right off now because, yeah, as I said, that we know there's a lot of joint SafeMoon Evergrow investors. We fully respect those guys over there at SafeMoon, and we know that there are YouTubers who are streaming ours now who are going to want to have a few minutes to set up their new stream. Paul, I want to thank you for running today's meeting. It's probably been the smoothest meeting we've had so far, and we really appreciate your help. So thanks for that. And for everybody listening in, we are going to literally end it now. But guys, we're going to carry on working incredibly hard. We're going to try to keep these AMAs up every week for as long as we can. Obviously, we always have so much news for you every Sunday. We really enjoy them. So I'll say goodbye. You guys have a nice afternoon or evening. Those heading over to SafeMoon, I'm sure you'll enjoy their AMA as well. And I suspect, as normal, there'll be some chat now on the Telegram and on the Discord group. So go and join up with those groups if you want to talk to the community and probably have a nice voice conversation as well. Okay, guys, thanks very much.